This is Curtis.
And I'm Camilla.
And this is going to be his first proper video where we're going to start introducing different topics to talk about and things like that.
Yes, and before we continue, we want to say sorry. It's not our fault. Blame law.
It's been really difficult within the last week or two to get time to put some videos in, put some time and effort into actually editing and recording and making sure it's all right for you guys.
But we promise that in the near future we're going to try as much as possible to be regular with this.
So we're going to talk about several different topics today, which the first one is, it's about a good friend of ours. She recently lost her grandma, who was known as Brenda, but she used to be nicknamed Grandma Handy. And she said that her grandma meant everything to her, and I can completely empathise with her on that point from losing my nanan in July. And yeah, the focus was that for her to actually write something down and help her get her points across of what her grandma meant to her, because that's what I did, and it was so helpful. And she wrote about all the good times she had with the grandma, all the memories, everything that would make her think my grandma's life was something that was very important. So it was absolutely fantastic that she did that, and I've just got to give her so much credit. I mean, it is quite difficult to write something like that down, but it's so worth it, absolutely worth it.
And we want to say that hang in there, we're here for you if you need us, and you're doing amazing, you're doing a great job, you're handling it really well, and keep it up.
Yeah. So moving on from that, the next topic, that was just a little brief message to our friend, because yeah, she's gone through an absolutely crap time, and and it just keeps getting worse for her, and she's doing such a good job.
But hopefully the sun will come out tomorrow.
Right. So moving on, Georgette was wanting us to talk about something that is quite meaningful to me, and I don't know, I'm struggling and have been struggling for quite a while with this, and it's the topic of relationships. Now, I want Georgette to start off talking about hers, and for me to try and put mine in words that is, you guys will understand. That's the important thing. So if you want to start talking about, yeah.
Mine's been okay. Well, not okay, but I handled mine not in the best way. What I did was I pretended as though nothing ever happened, and I moved on quite quickly, and that was bad. But obviously it hits me once in a while. But having people like Curtis and my grandma and my mum, they've been really supportive, and I'm glad I was able to open up to them. What I can say about relationships is they don't last forever, and the ones that do, amen, but ones that don't do what I did, and don't push it aside. What I'll say is deal with them, deal with the heartbreak, deal with the fact that they're no longer there. Just accept it, and I say have people around you who will encourage you, and yeah.
Georgette, she's quite a tricky person to, she doesn't open up to people that often, and you can really tell with her when she comes into uni, and I look at her and I think, what is going on in your life now? And she's like, nothing, I'm perfectly fine. And you can actually tell that there's a big difference in terms of how she reacts, how she acts, and it's just you feel really bad because you really want to help her out, and she doesn't open up to you. So hopefully that's something that she can work on going forward.
Your turn.
So mine, it was quite a rocky thing. I mean, we'd been together a while. It was like 2 years and 6 months. Who's counting? And she did mean the world to me. I'm not going to lie and say that she didn't just because we'd broken up, but she did, and that's the important thing, is to accept things like that. Going forward. So she meant the world to me. I would have done anything for her, and she knows that ultimately. And what going forward I'm going to try and do is that not to blame myself, but think that somebody will actually appreciate everything I do, and the love and support. And I'm not saying she didn't do that, but towards the end it did kind of become a little bit fragmented, and I don't know, it did upset me. And going forward, like where we're both two separate people now, I don't think that it's been handled in the best situation possible, and I don't know. I want to forgive her, and I can try to, but it's extremely hard, and it's hard to accept. And hopefully one day I can. And yeah, I'm rambling, but that's because it's so emotional. It's so built in that it's hard to identify myself, who I am, and I think I'm generally coming up to good terms with that going forward.
I think the way Curtis is dealing with his breakup is really good. It's not been easy, but he's doing his best, and he's coming face to face with the fact that she, whatever you want to call her, is no longer here. But he's going to hate me for saying this, but I think her going has made him a better person, because he's learning to find himself. I mean, knowing Curtis a year ago and knowing Curtis now, there's such a big improvement. And you know how you are like.
I know.
But I think this has made him more mature. In nice.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's relationships are, they're such they make you such a happy person, and then they can make you just the worst person ever, and you take that out on people, and you kind of think you shouldn't, but you I don't know, you don't know what to do, and you're in this box of nothingness, or I am anyway, and you kind of think this is who I am, and yeah, it's just blah, it's awful. But as long as you have friends there for you, that's the important thing. Like, I couldn't have done half the amount. I wouldn't be where I am now without friends. Having friends come over, looking after me, just having a good time, thinking that, that was not the be all and end all. But I think yeah, we'll move on to the next topic after that rough road.
Family. Curtis has the best family, I would say.
Yes, I would say it, but that's not blowing my own family's trumpet. No,
he's very supportive.
My family have done ever so much for me. They have been absolutely fantastic. Whatever the circumstance, my parents brought me and my brother up to be as open and as honest as possible. And I think that's an important trait to have, because, again, not to digress, but going back to relationships, that's something that you need to be. You need to be open and honest, because even the smallest little lie, no matter what it is, once it's found out, there's that element of doubt and all that. So my parents brought me up to be like that, and it's really good that that's a trait that I want to give going forward. But yes, my dad, absolutely fantastic man. I haven't.
In your phone.
Later, or I will do. But yeah, my dad, he's just been so supportive, and it makes me laugh, because going forward, he's inspired me in several different ways, being hardworking, motivated, caring, and really putting your thoughts out there. And my mum, she's very, she's given me the emotion aspect. She's told me how to be more emotional, how to just open up to people. It might not always be the best situation to open up to some people, but it's good.
Guy.
So yeah, I am quite sensitive,
which is good.
But I mean, I'll talk about my brother briefly, even because I should. But yeah, he's working really hard at the minute. I'm really proud of him. I wanted to say that he's focusing on his uni work and going to uni more, and hopefully he's moving out next year. And I'm glad that he's getting independence. And finally, my grandma, an absolute gem. She's lovely. She's fantastic. She makes me so happy when I see her. She bakes. Her baking is amazing, and she's absolutely lovely. But I don't know, that's the thing where I kind of wrote a blog about it, because it means a lot to my family. Even though my family might not believe it, it does mean a hell of a lot to me.
My family? Well, I didn't have the all-rounded mum, dad, brother, sister, all living under one roof. roof.
We
But
didn't say exploit yourself like you did yesterday.
but yeah. Well, now we're trying to, be a family. But I'm grateful. They had the reasons for what they did, and I never blamed them for what they did. But the person who raised me up was my grandma. I love it to bits. Annoying, but I love you, grandma, if you're watching this.
I wonder what her reaction would be to that.
I think she'll laugh. Anyway, and my mum. Well, my mum and my dad, they're both in Ghana. They've moved back.
And left Georgia.
All by myself, which is sad. Anyway, and I miss them very much, and I get to see them in August, so that's good. And yeah, I love you all, and whatever. Family. Yeah.
That just shows how much family mean to Georgette by saying whatever. No, but I mean to say that Georgette has had a difficult growing up. It's several multiple factors. Look how she's turned out now. She's beautiful, she's kind, she's caring, and that's something I look for. What I say in a friend. She's just I don't know I don't know where I would be without her. So I'm ever so grateful for Georgette. So yeah, what else? We had something briefly to talk about which I forgot.
What else?
I don't know. Other than just to say to you guys, thank you so much for the support. With our personal experiences, our personal lives. But it's just without you guys reading our blogs and trying to tell us like, oh yeah, you guys need to do another video and things like that. It's really nice that people actually want us to do something like this.
It's very encouraging, and we get asked about how we do it. And personally, it's really difficult because each time I write, each time I talk about it, it's like I'm reliving the experience. But the fact that it helps you makes it worthwhile. So.
It kind of like I find myself when I'm writing my blogs to attempt to, once I've wrote it all out, to like hover my finger over the backspace and literally just delete everything.
Yeah.
Because people have said, how can you relieve or how can you show all your personal life like that? And it's not that we show all our personal life, but it's personal events that I don't know everybody goes through, and you kind of think that there's other people that's going to go through that, and you kind of want them to feel like they're not alone. They're not experience any abnormality as you think you are.
Yeah. And like we're all in this together. There's nothing that you've gone through that is so bad. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's there to teach you a lesson. It's there to make you stronger. So don't give up. And
Stay strong.
And we're here. We try as much as possible to be.
I mean, if you guys ever feel like you need to I don't know if we have any foreign people watching our videos, and when I say foreign, I mean people that we don't know or anybody like that. But is that please feel free to message us or anything, or comment or anything like that, because we will get in touch, we will get back to you, we'll let you know exactly what it is, and if you want to ask us any questions or anything like that, please do, and we can respond to them.
We will respond to them as fast as we can.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I'm actually labelled as at the University of Law. That shows how intense it's been.
And we're actually at uni, trying to get some
in the library.
In the library.
So yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope to hear from you guys soon.
Yes, and stay in touch. Is that a thing?
Bye.
Adios.